Welcome back to the IIFL Wealth Junior Tournament, which is taking place here at Mount Litera School International, Mumbai. So we are into the towards the end of the first round of play, and it's quite an interesting event considering that only junior players are playing, and the first round finished quite early, to be honest. So I think that's because the kids try and always play fast.
I think one point we should just note before going forward is one point to be noted going forward is this tournament is the world's richest junior tournament ever. The tournament boasts of a fund of 7.5 lakhs, a total fund of 7.5 lakhs, while the first prize winner pockets a fund of 1.5 lakhs. So yes,
I think yeah. All right. So that means that I think we will be witnessing a very good amount of fighting chess here.
I
The
think one
kids.
point to be noted here is for every round there will be game of the day prize.
Yeah. So probably the kids will try and fight for that
Definitely, I
prize.
mean,
Yeah. So that is true. And speaking of the games, let's go ahead and see one of them, which is in progress towards the end. We'll start from the end of the game basically,
the game.
and the game is between Dhanush Raghav and Janam Gala R. So okay, let's start from the beginning.
So it's d4, d5, the queen's pawn opening, knight f3, knight f6. The basic point behind the move knight f3 is to stop any ideas related to e5. For example, after the move to c4, the move e5 leads to Albin counter gambit, which leads to Albin counter gambit. And it's after knight f3, any such ideas are totally washed out, and white can simply try to, you know,
Play a
direct the
queen's,
play,
yeah.
in his direction. So after knight f3, knight f6, we have got c4, e6, knight c3, c5. It's a semi-Tarrasch defense of the QGD. The queen's gambit declined. C into d5, e into d5, bishop g5, all standard stuff.
Yeah.
h6.
Yes. So the point is that now the d5 pawn.
h6 looks a bit dubious, doesn't it?
It does. Like for example, you would expect something like I don't know what would be the theory.
I think a move like bishop e7
Looks sensible.
Yeah, it does look sensible.
H6 is probably quite dubious. Let's see how white
I think it's a
continued.
blunder in itself.
Yeah, let's see how white continued here. He went gf6, tried to save the pawn.
But in doing so, he has weakened his pawn structure considerably.
Yes.
Which means he now has to castle only queenside. Castling kingside definitely exposes king to a future attack.
But even in this position, for example, I mean, castling queenside also looks illogical considering the move which white played anyway, which is
Indeed.
d into c5.
D into c5.
Now it's not sensible to castle on queenside either. So I think white is already better here. So.
Yeah, he's already won. He's already winning. After bishop's e6, okay, black is trying to save his pawn on d5. White goes e3, opening up the bishop.
That's actually a pretty good move. You're not caring about the c5 pawn, but instead developing your pieces, which makes a lot of sense.
f5 is another dubious attempt by black, I must admit. I think a move like knight c6 would do good.
Or probably just bishop into c5.
Yes, that is definitely the normal course.
Yeah, bishop into c5, I don't know, bb5 check, knight c6. Or I don't think I'll castle kingside because then rook g8 and stuff is not really good there.
True.
I think something like let's say QE2, QD3, or even QA4, something of that sort looks good. I mean, white is clearly better in that position, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Bishop.
But f5, yeah, this is like giving away things a bit too easily, I think. Or let's see what the point is. I think it's something related to f4 break at some point.
Maybe it's even some idea of opening up the bishop on g7. Maybe.
But that looks illogical considering there's a pawn on c5.
Maybe black is trying to go queen e5 at some point.
Maybe qf6 too. I mean, there are many possibilities here.
It's not clear. Let's just go forward a couple of moves
see
and
how it
decide
went.
from.
Okay, knight bishop b5 check is something which you would expect anyway. Knight c6,
Develop with a tempo.
qa4 again
Therefore,
developing with a
building up the
tempo,
pressure on c6.
again with a tempo, and qc7. Okay, it's obvious that the d5 pawn is weak, so I think the next move is quite natural. uh, Knight d4. Of course, there's a rule, some like stated by a strong players in the past, that the point is not the weak pawn, but the square in one step ahead of the weak pawn. The point here is not the d5 pawn, but the d4 square, which is an outpost of sort, as we can see in this case because of the pin.
I would like to point out one rule by Aaron Nimzovich regarding this. Aaron Nimzovich said that while attacking a weak pawn, first restrain, then block it, and finally destroy. So I think this is one thing which you're seeing here. And apart from that, white is definitely just clamping upon the c6 square at the moment.
Yeah, true. That's true. Let's see how it. Okay, black has to defend with rook c8, and that weakens the pawn on a7. I think
Yeah, it just falls.
now white is just winning in this position. Hmm. Q into
Okay,
a7.
bishop d7, which means again the d5 pawn is doomed.
So, however, now I think the next move. I think here q b6 is possible. Q b6. What do you think about this? Is it not possible or
Can't we
something?
just grab the pawn on d5 maybe?
Uh, maybe QB. No, the first thing is that the queen on a7 is attacked. The first thing is that the queen on a7 is
Oh
attacked.
yes, yes, yes,
So
definitely.
I play QB6 just to
Yeah, yeah,
bring a pawn
yeah.
on b6, and looks like I think winning. And then we have a4, a5, a6 coming, so it should be winning. D5 pawn is falling as well. In this case, yeah, this looks win. QB6. But okay, white what played a move which is also pretty good. QA4.
q4, quite natural.
And okay, let's hold on. Yeah, I think in this position white is already winning, so we should probably just stop here and go to a game
Yeah.
which is a bit more interesting. We'll take a short break here and come up with a new game for you to enjoy. Uh, uh,